So we are recording. Before I get going with kind of like what I wanted to talk about and show you guys, how do you guys feel about meal planning? Janelle, I know that you're kind of new to all of this. Rochelle, I know that you've been around the block. What do you struggle with, or what's your thoughts on meal planning so far?
I think for me, it's just how to start, how to plan. Like I used to plan out my meals for the whole week, and then, life gets in the way and I just don't do it. So I think for me, it's just figuring out like how to do that and how, like, just coming up with a meal for every night of the week.
Perfect. We're going to talk about that. Rochelle, what about you? How are you doing?
For me, it's I can do it, and then I struggle because then I will come home and I'll be like, I don't know if I want what's on the meal plan, but and more of a consistent person, like I try to eat chicken every day, all day, whereas like, well, not so much anymore, but where I was living before, it was like chicken wasn't wanted all the time. So now, I mean, my parents are pretty flexible with whatever, so um,
Right.
but yeah, that's my challenge, like just sticking to it once I make it.
Hi there. I see someone else hopped on, but I can't see who it is.
It's Julie.
I can't tell, but we're gonna keep going. So I think those were all like perfect, awesome questions, and I had already planned to talk about all of those anyway. So just know that like those are things that everyone struggles with. I totally struggled with. Actually, when I first started and I was looking over, the first program I ever did was Hammer and Chisel, and it followed like the same meal plan as the 21 Day Fix. Now the same program, same meal plan. Everyone's really following. And I was like instantly incredibly overwhelmed. I would sit down and try to make a meal plan for me, and I tried to do a different one for my husband, and it felt like a lot, and I instantly was very overwhelmed. Now looking back, I realized that that was kind of silly because there's no reason to get overwhelmed. Because first of all, like if you're working on this and trying, that is better than nothing. And like will you home hear me say a million times, Rochelle, you already have, you've been with me long enough, that like it's progress over perfection. Like I'm not expecting anyone to have these perfect meal plans right off the bat and stick to it 100%. That's just not real life. But if you're trying, if you're doing things to try to improve, that's what it's all about. As far as meal planning for like an entire week, I learned really quickly that that's not something for me. Just because my schedule, and I don't even have kids, so like you guys that have kids, I totally understand. It is very hard to know what you're going to be doing tomorrow night, let alone Saturday night, what you're going to be wanting for dinner. So I totally get that. So what I kind of do with my meal plans, I do make full meal plans every week, mainly just because, like, for my challengers to try to help them out. But I use my meal plan as more of a shell, kind, so to speak. And then if things need to change about it, then that's totally cool. What I recommend for a lot of people is to just try to meal plan a couple of days in advance. Like, have planned the next 2 days, or if that's too much, sit down every single night and come up with a plan for the next day. And if that's too much, then I'll tell you what else to do. A lot of times in my meal plans, what I do every single week on Sundays, my husband and I kind of have like a standing date at home every Sunday night, and I will cook 2 really big meals. We do a lot of chicken. I don't eat beef. It's not health purposes. I just never have liked it. And he doesn't eat fish. So around here, it is a lot of chicken, which is cool for me because it's cheap and I like cheap. But anyways, I will cook 2 big meals, and one of them is normally just like grilled chicken, like plain grilled chicken. That way I can do a ton of different things with it. Later in the week, I can turn it into like a clean chicken parmesan. I'll do like a whole wheat spaghetti and marinara sauce. We can do it in like a chicken stir fry. That way I can do anything I want with it. So sometimes on my meal plans, you will see that I write like chicken, vegetable. I don't like specify what I'm going to have, and then a carb. That way I know what I need to be eating. But if, for instance, I'm forced to go out to eat, because my husband and I love to go out to eat, and that was one of the things when I started wanting to lose weight. I was like, I don't really know if I can give that up. I can limit it. I cannot go out to eat as much. But I love going out to eat with him. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I'll know when I'm, if I go out to eat, that I'm just trying to get a lean meat, a vegetable, and some kind of healthy carb. So I don't stick to my meal plan like it's the Bible, because like Rochelle said, what if I don't want that? Well, I just find something that fits its place. If I was supposed to have spaghetti with meatballs, maybe instead I'll have, and I'm craving sweet potatoes, maybe I'll have chicken and sweet potatoes and some kind of vegetable, if that makes sense. I think mainly just like don't overanalyze it. Don't try to do what I did and like stick to it like it was law. So I hope that helps a little bit. And just knowing that like if you don't plan a whole week in advance, I think that's totally okay. I'm going to share my screen with you. Has everyone sat down and figured out their calorie bracket, like how many of each container they're supposed to do? Has everyone done that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm just because I am recording and there's some people I know we're going to be watching, I'm going to share my screen and just show you how to do that.
Bless you.
I will probably sneeze now 5,000 more times because once I start, I can't stop. I apologize. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is Beachbody On Demand on my computer. If you guys haven't just like taken some time to play around with it, I would do that because it is really cool. Like there is a cooking show on here. If you didn't know, Autumn Calabrese and her brother, who is a celebrity chef, they have a cooking show on here. There's just all kinds of tools on here that you can use. So I really recommend playing around with it. I'm going to pull up the 21-Day Fix. So you come here, you can see all of the workouts, and then you come over here to program materials, and there are tons and tons of tools. Literally enough stuff that you can spend a whole day on here learning and reading. The workout calendar is here. Tally sheets to help you if you decide not to meal plan and you decide that this is more for you, where you are just kind of going about your day. I have some people who do this. There is actually an app that is very similar to this. I'll pull it up and show you on my phone. It's just called the 21-Day Fix app. And let me see here. It like has you put in your weight and it shows you how many containers you're supposed to have. I don't know if you can really see it, but this is the app and it is really cool. But you can like put in what you're having for breakfast. That's really cool. So that's just one other tool that you can use. But this On Demand has so much stuff. So I'm going to click on the eating plan. And this is how you figure out how many calories you're supposed to have. There's a little mathematical formulation here based on your weight, and then you at the end of this formula you'll get your calorie target and you'll find how many of each container you're supposed to have here. So
And is that based on doing the exercises? Is that where the calorie count comes from?
can you say that again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Is it based on doing the exercises every day? Is that where your calorie count comes from?
Yeah, it comes from your weight. So you'll put your weight in here, And then, yeah, this is assuming that you're doing your workouts every day.
I just thought it was high. That's why I asked.
Yeah, and a lot of people tell me, they're like, I can't eat all of this food. And
Right.
I understand, but in, things that some people have tried before, like whenever I first started trying to lose weight, I was told at like 330 pounds that I was supposed to be eating a 1,200 calorie diet a day. And that is not enough food for what
Right.
my body needed. People who have more weight to lose, you do have more food to lose. And that's the thing I love about the 21-day fix. And this is the one part that I hate. Okay, there's two parts that I hate, I'll be honest. I hate that it's called the 21-day fix, because people are like, okay, so after the 21 days I can go back to eating how I was. No, like, it definitely doesn't work that way. It takes 21 days to create a habit and to teach you how to do something like this. So that's why it's called the 21-day fix. But I also hate that it includes the calories, because I've had
Right.
people who get stressed. They're like, that's a lot of calories, or, how do I keep track of the calories and the containers? Ignore the calories, okay? Totally ignore them, because they don't matter. What matters is eating the container. Calories are hard to count. When I first started trying to lose weight and I was like focusing on calories, and I did this with a program where I was counting points too, I would save up my calories and save up my points so that I could eat pizza every night. And you're not going to lose weight if you're doing that. So just
Right.
to eat clean. And I'm not telling you I don't eat pizza. If you are friends with me on Facebook, you know that I eat pizza. But it just, teaches you how to actually eat clean, which for me is the only thing that I've been able to do long term. So, but I just wanted to show that this is how you figure out how many containers you're supposed to eat. You can see that here. So I'm going to now show you how I sit down and meal plan every week. And like I said, if looking at this, where you're trying to plan for a whole week, totally stresses you out beyond belief, that's okay. Do it a couple days in advance. I'm doing a week just so I can show you. There are a couple things in my day that I am guaranteed to eat. And like I said, I did another meal planning workshop with my other group that's not doing the Shift Shop test group before. So I kind of have this one done, and then hopefully you guys will help me finish it. So Janelle asked me if I was a big breakfast eater, and the answer is definitely yes. I crave eggs before my feet hit the floor. Like, I need eggs every single morning. So I'm a creature of habit. Maybe eating like this really bores you guys. You don't have to. I have a lot of friends who they make these really awesome, elaborate meal plans where they're trying new foods every day. For me, I don't like to cook. I'll be really honest with you. I'm not a good cook. I don't like it. So I kind of do the same things over and over. But again, if that gets really monotonous to you and you get bored, oh, hi there. If you get really bored, then that's okay. But you will see that I have eggs and spinach every single morning. I struggle getting all of my vegetables in. I like vegetables. It's not that I don't. It's just often at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I missed, a couple containers of vegetables. So I mix them in with my eggs or egg whites every single morning, and I really honestly can't even taste them. So that's just a tip. For the folks who are on the call, when do you guys normally have your shake? Is it normally your breakfast, or do you have it at another time in the day?
I vary. This past week with the transition of moving, I've been having it for breakfast, but I am also like you, where I am an egg person every morning. So I've been missing them because I've found that with drinking the shake, like, I get to work and I'm like, even though the shake filled me up, I'm like, I want something else. So I was drinking my shake after my workout. But I'm trying to fluctuate my workout to the morning because at night it's just too much to fit in with bedtime routine and everything. So I'm thinking it's going to be like a mid-morning snack of some sort for me.
That is perfect. That's exactly what I do. You guys can see my screen, right? I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So that's what I do a lot. In the beginning, I had mine a lot as a dessert because I am a sweets junkie. Like, I love sweets. So I was used to, grabbing something sweet every night with my husband, or, sitting down and eating popcorn, or maybe it was even a healthy snack, but sitting in front of the TV, a healthy snack can easily become, way too much. So in the beginning, I had mine as a nighttime snack. So I know, like, folks who I was just talking to a girl who she said that she eats ice cream every single night. So I'm recommending to her to have her shake in place of that. That way she feels like she's still getting a sweet treat every night. But so often I eat my eggs in the morning, and then as like a mid-morning snack, I have my shake. You'll see here on Saturday night. And I just did that because, like, tonight, my husband and I, we have no plans. We're going to have a movie night on the couch. And I know that he's starting Shift Shop with us on Monday. So I know he's going to be bad and say, okay, we're starting Shift Shop tonight. I want ice cream. So I plan to have my shake then, so that, I don't feel like, man, he's having ice cream and I'm missing out. No, I'm going to have my shake and I'm not missing out. It's just as good and is not going to make me feel sick. So that's what I do. So just a little tip there. You don't have to have your shake first thing in the morning if that's not when it works for you. If it works mid-morning, if it works for lunch. Sometimes, like, I'll run errands during lunch, and sometimes I'll have my shake for lunch. It doesn't matter. But so then I fill in those things first. Like the things that I know I'm going to have. I know I'm going to have my eggs. I know I'm going to have my shake. And then I fill in the rest. And like I said, there's tons of tools on demand, tons of like recipes, tons of other stuff. I honestly use Pinterest a lot for my recipes. There's a 21 Day Fix cookbook that you can buy, but to be honest, I try to tell people, like, save your money because everything's on Pinterest, like every single recipe and more. So I'm just going to pull this up so that I can pull up a couple recipes and just show you. I'm not going to finish this whole meal plan just because you guys are going to really get the gist after this. But so with the last group, I put that on Monday, we're going to make this crispy chicken bake with green beans. And I can share the recipe if you guys want, but you use whole grain Rice Krispies and like some cayenne pepper and some different spices, and then you coat the chicken on that. And it kind of gives you the feel that you're eating some kind, not like a fried chicken. I'm not saying that it tastes like you're getting fried chicken from, Wendy's or whatever, or KFC, but it gives you that kind of like crunchy chicken feeling. And then I will take that same chicken, because I'll make a ton of extra, that's what I do, and then I'll put that on maybe a salad or something the next day. So I know people are like, I feel like I'm always cooking and I'm always doing something. I just make a ton of extra. That way I have it for my next meals. And in the beginning, guys, I'll be honest, I wasted some food because I was like, well, I'm making a ton of extra. But by doing a little bit of planning and knowing, okay, I'm just going to make enough for my lunches for the week, so I need 5 extra servings, then I was just kind of able to get the hang of it. And it's something that does take some time, so give yourself some slack there. But that's what I do. I will make either 2 big meals on Sundays, or sometimes, in the middle of the week, I'll make another big meal, and that's normally what I have. I reuse that for my lunches. Is that kind of what you guys do, or what you're planning to do? Kind of do like leftovers for lunches every day?
I don't really like leftovers, and my lunches are typically I don't have a lot of time to eat. So I was thinking about lunch to do the shake maybe. But normally my lunches now are terrible. Like a thing of cottage cheese and a couple pretzels, maybe a piece of fruit, maybe a granola bar, like very, very little. So I'm not sure what I'll do for lunches yet. I need to figure that out.
I think that might be a good plan for you. Maybe your shake, and then you can have something else with it. I mean, you don't have, whenever you have your shake, if it's a meal especially, you don't have to just have that. You can do your shake and maybe a piece of fruit, or I don't know, like a half of a sweet potato. It depends on like what you're trying to do. Rice cakes are something that's really like awesome and easy. I do like rice cakes with peanut butter and bananas on top of them almost every day before my workout as like my afternoon snack. Yeah, you just have to find what everyone's schedule's different. So me sitting here trying to like make a meal plan that's universal, that works for all of us, is impossible. But you just have to find what works for you. But I think that would be really good. The one thing you would have to do, are you normally a big breakfast eater?
No.
If you were going to do your shake for lunch, you would just have to keep in mind that you will have to make the time to have, some kind of like a substantial breakfast.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll be hard for you to get all your stuff in. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
And the whole leftover thing, Chris, my husband, was like that too. He hated leftovers. They never bother me, but he's gotten better about it. He's gotten better with something. And that's the thing, like maybe you hate having like leftover vegetables. Like I know vegetables can get like mushy and kind of gross, but maybe eventually you'll be okay with leftover like grilled chicken or something like that. You might be looking at me like, no, I'm always gonna hate leftovers. But that's okay. We will find a way to make it work.
Okay.
So was this kind of helpful, like seeing kind of how I plan it all out? And again, if it makes sense to you to focus on Monday and Tuesday during this, like let's delete that. I don't care. You know what I mean? Just do what works for you. And if I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If you're not very computer savvy, or it makes more sense for you to scribble it down on a piece of paper, that's cool too. I like computers, and I wanted you guys to see what I was doing, so I had to have it on my computer. But I think the key is just finding what works for you. Did you guys write down, maybe you don't have to write it down, maybe you have a better memory than me, but the 21 Day Fix app? I think that you would really like that, Janelle.
Yeah.
While you're getting started, especially, it's really cool. So once you hop off here sometime this weekend, check that out, because it helps you track your foods. If you decide that meal planning, in advance doesn't necessarily work for you the way it works for other people, the one thing I will say, I do recommend to try to have some kind of a shell of a plan. And maybe it's not, okay, I'm going to have chicken and green beans and a sweet potato for dinner. But maybe it's knowing, okay, at lunchtime, I'm going to have some kind of a protein, some type of a vegetable, and some type of a carb. Because otherwise, at the end of the day, you're going to be like, oh, I ate way too many carbs and I didn't eat nearly enough vegetables. You have to have some kind of a plan, especially in the beginning. I'm not telling you that for the rest of your life you're going to have to be a slave to a meal plan, but for getting started, so you kind of learn what you're doing, I do think it's important to have some kind of a plan. The other thing that I do, because it is necessary for me, and Janelle, you might struggle because you hate leftovers, but I always have to have at least one prepped meal or something. Maybe it's just like deli meat, turkey breast in the fridge. Mm-hmm. But to where if I get off work and then I have a ton of errands to run and I am not getting home until 7:30 and I'm literally starving, my first instinct is to go through the drive-through. And for me personally, if I allow myself to do that one time, it is so much easier for me to do it the next day and the next day and the next day and just get into that habit. So I try to always have, like, for me, it's normally grilled chicken breast just because that's so easy, and then I'll like throw it onto a salad. But if I just have to have something in the fridge, that if I don't get home until 7:30 or 8 o'clock, I know that I have something that I can eat right then and there and not be, tempted by fast food. But
That's a great idea.
Yeah, maybe like, turkey, deli meat turkey or something like that, to where it's not leftovers, but it's something healthy that you have prepped to eat. I also do that with snacks. Like I'll put a portion of like carrot sticks or almonds or something in little snack bags. That way they're like easy to grab, because especially I know for like you moms, like you're always running around like chickens with your heads cut off, like out the door to sporting events or, this and that. I know that you're always really busy. So that's just something to keep in mind. That was really all that I had planned to talk about. Is there any like questions, or is there anything that you feel like, I could explain a little better that might help you more?
I had a question, and it's not so much about meal planning, but I do struggle to get my fruit in sometimes, and I tried to add things to my shake, and I see that you add banana, and I saw that you posted on Facebook that you freeze a whole bunch of bananas. Does that reduce the overwhelming banana taste? Because I've tried bananas before, and it's like, it overpowers my.
Okay, that's perfect. I do want to say that I didn't realize this until a couple of months in. So you might already know this, and if you do, that's okay. But I didn't realize until a couple of months in that a banana is actually 2 purples, because they're bananas are bigger. So half of a banana is 1 serving of fruit. So that's what I add to my shake. It's just a half of a banana. I freeze it, and I don't really taste them that much. Now, I will say I do really like banana, so don't like hold me to that. But I freeze them, and then I put a teaspoon of peanut butter in my shake, and I use chocolate. So like the flavors that I taste most are not banana, it's chocolate and peanut butter. But the frozen banana does give it like a creamier consistency. That's what I think makes it taste like a Wendy's Frosty, because it gives it like that really thick consistency. So yeah, try that. Frozen blueberries are really good too. When it's frozen, it will give it that consistency that, I don't know, it's my favorite. It makes it like super creamy.
Okay, thank you.
Other ways for fruit, I don't know if you're like a yogurt person, you can like mix it in with your yogurt. There's a bunch of ways to get fruit in. I will say, if you're struggling to get all of your containers in, I would focus on fruit and carbs last. Like if you're like Mary Carolyn, I just really struggle getting all of them in. This is a lot of food. I can't do it. Focus on your vegetables first, your proteins, and your fruit. I say your fruit because fruit has a lot of carbs and sugar in it too. So if you just can't get it all in, I say try to, because it's better if you can. But if you can't get it all in, I'm not saying miss like 3 servings of fruit, but if you're missing 1, like it's okay. Any other questions?
I don't have any.
No? Okay. Well, was this helpful? Like, did you like this?
Very helpful. I thought it was very informative and helpful to me to know what other people do. Like, I never thought of drinking Shakeology for a snack. I always look at it as more of a meal replacement. So I thought that was helpful to me. And I think the planning out is good, because the containers will help, because then I don't feel guilty if I do have my Shakeology at night when I think I should have had it for lunch or something. So,
right.
Yeah, very helpful.
Okay, good. And does this time work good for everybody? Is this good? Okay. All right.
This is good.
Perfect. Well, I think in the next, few weeks, we're going to do some other topics. So if you have something that you're struggling with post in the group or message me, and we can do a call. I think one time we might just have just no plan. We'll just talk and see what everyone's struggling with, or something someone's doing really good at, and let that person talk. We'll just kind of see where it goes, see what everyone needs help with. But good luck. If you guys need help, if you want me to look over a meal plan that you do for starting on Monday, shoot it my way, post it in the group, whatever you want to do, and we'll make sure that you're on the right track. But I'm super excited to start on Monday. When's everyone going to be working out?
Morning.
Morning?
I'm gonna try to do the morning as well.
You can do it. Working out in the morning, it's not my favorite thing to do, but my mood is so much better when I do. Like when I start my day, and I know it sounds cheesy, but it really, really does help. And then I'm so much less tempted to cheat throughout the day, because I'm like, I'm not gonna have that. I worked out this morning. Like I'm good. So, all right, guys, have a good weekend with your families, and we will chat later.
All right.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.